Welcome back to Casual Buzz Rugby. It is that time of the year, the biggest game in the rugby calendar. The All Blacks taking on South Africa Saturday. And in my opinion, it's for the title, for the Rugby Championship. I mean, I said it in the preview. I said it's going to be the title decider. And it is here. And I'm very excited. Let's get into it. Starting off looking at the history of the two teams. And I mean, I didn't know this. And 2 Cents Rugby, shout out to him, mentioned it in his match preview. And he said the last game that the All Blacks played against South Africa in New Zealand was in 2019. That is crazy. And that was the 16-16 draw. And then after that, the 5 games after that was in Yokohama, where New Zealand beat us in the group stages of the Rugby World Cup, 23-13. The game after that was the 2 games in Australia, 19-17 to New Zealand, and then 31-29 to South Africa. And then the 2 games after that was last year, when we played twice in South Africa, 26-10 to South Africa, and then 23-35 to New Zealand. I mean, it feels weird thinking that we haven't played against New Zealand in what is that, 5 years? 4 years, geez, my math. I mean, that is absolutely crazy. New Zealand, of course, been a dominant force over the years, but it's always a good match when we play each other. I've got a lot of respect for New Zealand. I said it in the build-up or in the line-up video for New Zealand. I've got a lot of respect for New Zealand. I love New Zealand, the way they play the rugby, the way they go about things, the respect factor, the haka, everything. But I ain't giving shit because you're playing against my home nation. I gotta back my boys all the way. We're gonna get into some predictions, obviously, at the end. Look at some betting odds. But yeah, let's get into the lineups and where the match will be won and lost. Just gotta get my stuff up here. Looking at the lineups, and I mean, oddly enough, New Zealand absolutely dominated Argentina unexpectedly at the set pieces when it came to the lineouts and especially the scrums. Ethan de Groot, Cody Taylor, Tyrell Lomax, of course. Dane Cole started, doesn't even make the bench this weekend because Taki Yao is coming up. I expected him to start actually instead of Cody Taylor, but I mean that's probably just to nullify the effect of a Malcolm Marx coming on. But I mean, Ethan de Groot, Tyrell Lomax showcased their class against Argentina. But I mean, coming up against Stephen Kitsoff, Bongian Mbonambi, and Frans Malherbe, absolutely shoved Australia back to Melbourne, wherever. I mean, it was absolutely crazy. Do I think with Ethan de Groot and Tyrell Lomax there will be a bit more oomph in the scrums, a bit more competitive? No, because I'm biased. But I still think it's a great head-to-head that Brody Retallick versus Scott and Scott Barrett versus Eben Etzebeth and Lode Jager. Of course, we have to hear if Eben Etzebeth's going to play. Our condolences go out to him and his family with a very sensitive situation with the loss of his father. So we'll have to see who slots in at 4 for the Springboks. But I mean, Lode Jager still. Scott Barrett, I expected him to start it at 6 with Sam Whitelock coming in after his final in the Super Rugby. Sam Whitelock, I thought this guy needs some game time. He's been brilliant. Just get some meters under his feet. But I mean, you can't go wrong with a Brody Retallick and a Scott Barrett. Those 2 guys are workhorses. So the first 5, I mean, it's very, very tight when it comes to head-to-head. Of course, Scott Barrett can slot in anywhere. And I think the reason he's probably not slotting in at 6 is because Shannon Frizzell had an absolutely brilliant game. Shannon Frizzell, Sam Cane, Ori Savia. I mean, you can't go wrong. Sam Cane probably better at kicking the fans than he is playing rugby. But I mean, it's such a strong team. The whole forward pack or the forwards for both teams, absolutely insane. I think it's weird because you're thinking like New Zealand's going to play the running rugby and South Africa is going to play the physical game. But then you look at last weekend and it's been totally different. So I'm wondering, because Faf de Klerk slots in perfectly when it comes to the kicking game. And that's what I thought we're going to play. But I mean, looking at our backline, we can just as well play running rugby. And I mean, Grant Williams and Mani Lebok on the bench, they're not going to play that kicking game because they can't put it on the dot like a Faf de Klerk. So, Will Jordan, Mark Delia, Bowden Barrett, all of them will be tested under that high ball. But I expect South Africa to also decide to run the ball because it was so effective in our previous game. We've got good runners of the ball. I mean, you can't have a Cheslin Colby in your team and not decide to run the ball. Same with the Damien Dialenda to bash that ball forward. Richie Mwanga is very interesting, slotting in at the 10. I really thought Damien McKenzie's going to get another start. I'm not sure if he's injured, but he's not even on the bench. I think he'll feel pretty hard done by. That's if he doesn't have an injury, as I just said. But I mean, this game is set up so beautifully. Because I mean, everybody wrote New Zealand off. I said it in last week's previews, they're going to have a statement win. They did have that statement win. I mean, what's a bigger statement than beating South Africa? They've got the home advantage. And what's a bigger win for South Africa than beating your biggest rivals, New Zealand? I mean, this is a great game set up to win the rugby championship. I mean, it gives you great confidence going into the Rugby World Cup, especially because we're meeting each other again before the Rugby World Cup. So South Africa wouldn't want 3 losses in a row going into the Rugby World Cup knowing you have to play New Zealand or France in the quarterfinals. That's not a good look. So, very, very interesting. It's so tight. Of course, my bias kicks in and I'm backing my boys all the way. Just because of, if you just look at the impact from the bench, Tamaki Williams making his debut. Of course, he's a big guy. But I mean, you've got your pride and trust on the bench with the Malcolm Marx, Thomas de Toy, Vincent Koch. As I said, I think Tukiao is coming off the bench to just nullify the impact of a Malcolm Marx maybe, or maybe have the same impact on the South Africans that Malcolm has on New Zealand. And then you have Ergie Snyman, Pieter Stef de Toy, and Dwayne Vermeulen. 3 of the guys very hungry to play at the moment, very fighting for their World Cup spots. But the same goes for the New Zealand team. I can't say too many things about Nepo Lulala and Tupavai, but I do rate Papa Lee. He's an absolutely brilliant player. I think the breakdowns will be very interesting, especially with Adi Savia on the New Zealand side and Kwagga Smith, both of them specialists when it comes to the breakdown. Of course, South Africa going for that 6-2 split. Grant Williams, an amazing impact from the bench when he came on. Just a breath of fresh air. Him and Kobus Reinach, both of them similar players. I do love them both. Decided to go with Grant Williams on the bench. I mean, you couldn't go wrong. I'm very surprised to see Caleb Clark on the bench, but I mean, it's probably because Mark Delia and Will Jordan is coming from injuries. So it's injury cover. But I mean, Mark Delia is probably one of the standout players in the world at the moment. The guy is an absolute world beater. Strong, physical, quick. I mean, you can't really go wrong with him. Will Jordan, class. Just class wherever you look. Interesting. Thing is, Jordie Barrett, Rico Ioane, very good centre pairing. Going against Damien Dialenda, Lukania just on the names, you would probably back Damien Dialenda and Lukania but I mean, since Jordie Barrett and Rico Ioane has been put next to each other, they've been absolutely brilliant. I mean, I still feel Rico Ioane is a wing playing in the centres, but I mean, the guy he can just bring something out of nothing, absolutely nothing. I'm almost too flustered to say anything. I'm so excited for this game. Have to wake up early in the morning to watch this game. But I mean, this is crazy. Looking into the betting odds, I think the bookies have got it very, very wrong. Or Betway has got it very, very wrong. I mean, I'm not surprised New Zealand is the favourites. But I mean, to bet on South Africa just to win gets you 3.3 times your money back. That is just insane. If I was looking at it from a betting perspective, that's the easy bet. Just throw it on the box. Maybe even throw a plus 0.5 if there's the chance of a draw. You still get back 3 times your money. And then, I mean, do I even need to go through the other stuff? That's just crazy on itself. If you really feel confident about just New Zealand winning this game, I'd go just for New Zealand, 1.4 times back. Maybe throw in a handicap on New Zealand, if you feel confident about them, minus 10, 10.5. 2.6 time your money back. Possible, very possible. Could go safe with the South African bet on South Africa plus 10.5 gives you 1.5 time your money back. More than that, I don't even think I need to add anything. So the official prediction for this game is going to be South Africa by 6. That's the official prediction. Let me know what you think. See you tomorrow.